I just arrived at Walgreens. I'm gonna buy myself a cake mixer because I'm baking a cake. But today's been a productive day. On top of baking a cake, I cooked a nice meal. I did 2 blockchain videos and 1 philosophy video for the members. The blockchain video I did this morning, whereas I laid out exactly what I'm setting myself up with an account. I already have an account, but I set myself up with another account so I can show how it's done for me to earn crypto every day. And I set that up, and I did that's 26 minutes, and then I just did a follow-up video, another video for it, which is 11 minutes. So that's about 40 minutes worth of blockchain video. And I did like a spiritual video, philosophy video by request. Whereas first I followed up on a video I did a couple of days ago. And then I read from the book, and man, I really like the philosophy, man. It really brings out stuff that was never there before. And I get to talk about what's going on right now with, society and reality, and how I think about it. And I upgrade myself by doing that, and anyone else who's watching me. So I also wanted to create a video about the garden cart, but I haven't gotten around to that. I probably won't, I don't know. But we had this weekend was really nice, hot, sunny weekend, nice weather, but we didn't have any deliveries. And I find that really interesting, because the only reason why I think we didn't have any is because we didn't want any. And I find that very interesting, that our personal feelings affect how reality is, because last week we had so many deliveries and so many customers who we couldn't deliver to, that were requesting, right? And to go from there to just a few days, and then we were done like on Wednesday, right? And so by Saturday we expected maybe to get at least 1 or 2, but nah, and we didn't feel like it. Like right now I feel like I'm about 95% recovered, my muscles and my body, and by tomorrow I'll be 100% recovered. And we needed the time off to recover, and it's exactly what we got on a really nice weekend, so that's good. And then we gotten a lot of bookings today, according to you, Leanna, and we'll start delivering again in a couple of days. I also restarted our advertising. I went on to Facebook, and I noticed that our water slide advertising stopped on June 30th, which that's good, because we didn't need it. We didn't need it after that. So I restarted it, and I set it up for 2 months. So from now until August 31st. The last time I set it up for 2 months, I had set it at $200 for 2 months. This time I set it up for $300 for 2 months. Yeah. And I could have just did $200 for 2 months, but maybe if like what happens is if we start getting really busy or really booked out, I can go in and stop it, or bring it down a notch, So but everything is going good as far as that goes. But yeah, here about to buy my cake mixer so I can bake a nice cake from scratch. From scratch. I usually wear my mask, but usually every time I go to the store, which is like once a week, I leave the car without the mask, and then when I'm walking to the store, I see a person in the mask, and I go back to the car and get my mask. But this time I didn't see anyone, and I was already in the store before I realized that people are wearing, well, there's nobody really here, really. There was one customer wearing a mask, so I was like, bump that. Just gonna wing it. No mask. Every evening when I check my YouTube timeline, I see record number of cases in Florida. Every day it's like a record number of cases. And, because they're doing more testing. What I'm waiting to see is if the hospitals are going to get overloaded to the point where they have to pitch up a tent. You know, when they have to put up a separate building to manage patients, that's when it's serious, you know. But having a whole bunch of cases with no hospital overload and not that much death is actually a good thing, because it shows that, you know, it's not as deadly. And you know, I figure, man, if you are not healthy, you know, and you're elderly, you should do everything you can to stay away from COVID. Me, I'm trying to do everything I can. I don't want to get it, you know, and I just don't. I can't even say, oh, I think I already got it, because I think with COVID, it doesn't matter if you already got it, you can get it again. You know, that's what I think. You know, I don't know for sure, but I also think that getting it could also mean long-term problems, you know, damage that can happen later on, you know. So just because you get it and you're asymptomatic or you beat it or whatever, it doesn't mean that, you know, months later you can't get lung damage or brain damage or some freaky ass problem, you know. So that's how I'm treating it. I'm treating it like I just want to totally avoid getting it as much as I can, which is, I think now another thing is the kids going to school, man. It's like, you know, my youngest son don't want to go, so he probably won't be going. My older son, my teenage son, he does want to go back. So, you know, part of me feels like, man, you know, school is like, his school starts in like 3 weeks, August 10th. So I'm feeling like perhaps things are going to if things are really still as bad as they are now, like if there's still a lot of hospitalizations and there's still and the cases don't go down, I think the school's going to change their mind, right? And say, no. Because, I mean, you know, why take the risk? You know, I mean, when I see about all this stuff about kids going back to school, all I think is, man, these cats, it's like, it's all about money. You know, it's all about money, man. It's like parents who need to go to work and they need the school to babysit their kids. I mean, and me not being in that position, it's like, oh man, you know. But if I was in that position, then I'd be like, man, is my life worth? It's like you have to risk your life to make money, you know. And it's like, whoa, whoa, you know, isn't there a way I could figure out for me not to risk my life, or, you know, and risk the life of my kids to make money? I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't know. What I should be saying is like, you know what? Let them go ahead and go to school, and my kids stay home. You know, but if my son wants to go to school, I'm not the one to tell him no, because I'm afraid. You know what I mean? I mean, if he wants to go, then that's his thing. So, but I'm glad it's still 3 weeks away. So in 3 weeks, perhaps everyone will change their mind about, you know, kids going back to school, man. Because at least around in Florida, because right now it doesn't look like that's a smart thing to do if things don't change for the better. One thing I think about too, man, is when they show on the news of all these long lines of people getting tested, I wonder, why would someone want to get a test for COVID? Like, why would I want to know? You know, if I don't feel sick, right? I don't want to know if I have it or not, because like, and what's the point? I'm gonna wait 8 hours in a line to get a test, right? And I don't feel, all right, think about it like this. I don't feel sick. I'm gonna stay in a line and get a test. After 8 hours, I'm gonna, you know, or whatever amount of hours I gotta wait to get a test, and the tests come back negative. But let's say it takes 4 days to get the results, and in the time that I'm waiting for the results, I'm positive. I get positive. I catch the COVID. It's like, in order to be sure you don't have COVID, you gotta get tested almost every day, or every other day. So what? So what's the point of even getting tested, yo? It's like, I'll just keep going along with my life. And then if I feel extremely sick, you know, if I just feel like, oh man, I'm about to die, or I can't walk, or, you know, if I come down with some hardcore sickness, then I'll just, then I'll be like, okay, I'll just go to the hospital. I'm not even gonna go get a test. I'm gonna go to the hospital and be like, yo, man, I feel like I'm dying over here. And that's when I'll get the test. But to go I don't see the point in joining a long ass line to get a test if I don't have to. If I don't have to, why would I be doing that? So sometimes I watch at like, man, I think about like how. Sometimes I think about how reality is like stupid. Stupid, man. Like, it's kind of like, man, it's kind of like it's kind of like it's kind of like if I step on an ant's nest, right? And then the ants start rebuilding that nest in the same spot right away. Like, right? It's kind of like that, like I think as a kid, I'm looking at that, I'm like, aren't these ants smart enough to just move to somewhere else? You know what I mean? Like, because I'm going to step on that ant nest again and again and again and again and again. So, get out of here, right? Yeah, man. I mean, I think my personal intelligence is like way, way higher than the average, well, what I see around me, And what is that? Why is that? What's that all about? Is that I'm not distracted? Is that what it is?